Say, for instance, Tan and me want to go back and once again observe the dinosaurs in all of their glory, 67 million years or more back, in order to take the guardian ships with us, then we will have to incorporate them. It is done in this manner. The X-6 master neurotronic computer will assume they'll all fall in line like ducks, just like ducks. The X-6 will assume command of all vibrations. The X-4s will pump up to match that vibration. Therefore, now you've got one long bubble. And the time-spatial, the hyperspace window or the Stargate doesn't know that it's 4 items. All it knows is that it's one bubble that's matching the vibration, so we all sucked in. Now, on a couple of occasions, when we did get kicked out at some historical point, it was as such until the dispersal was, maybe we would be over North America, one ship would be over Australia, another over Japan, and another over England, or something of that nature. You know what I mean, hitting brakes, so to speak. But it wouldn't take long, just a matter of moments or minutes or seconds to vector back in and regroup and things of this nature and what have you. It's a magnificent mechanism. Now, as I told you, I was never affected by G-forces. For instance, when we entered the mothership on each occasion, we went from an aeronautical speed of like 10,000 miles an hour to 0 in 1/10 of 1 second. And I felt no sense of motion, it didn't splatter me against the windshield or anything like that. However, because his neural factors tends to work perhaps faster than my own, it took me a long moment to get back my equilibrium, kind of dizziness, like zzz, until my eyes came back into focus and what have you. One time when we stood off from the planet Pluto, about 5,000 kilometers from a great machine they have there, which we shall discuss, not tonight, but at some time, the extraterrestrial Tesla coil black hole generator and what have you, but we'll get back to that, until the flux from that great machine firing off into the ether caused me a nosebleed, which was an oversight on his part. They are not perfect, They did fall at Roswell, and one of their drones fell on the northern islands of Hokkaido in northern Japan, not too far from Russian waters, back in 1953, I believe it was, and what have you. So they are not perfect. Now, the X-6, the guidance system of the X-6 is such until the coordinates can be laid in. For instance, to fixate upon a given star in the distance, the neurotronic or sensors will read more or less the chemical composture of that planet, the gases emanating from it and what have you, and fixate upon it. And if you wish, the ship will take you within the solar system of that given star and what have you, leaving you to browse around and eat some of that gate food they have. You know what I mean? Little blocks of stuff. Like, for instance, I was on the mothership, and he gave me a little square block or something, and a little glass of liquid. The liquid tastes benign, didn't taste like soda pop or nothing, and the brown stuff tasted like an unseasoned, cracker or something. And I asked him, I said, hey man, what's this dry shit? Better get me some grocery up in here, and what have you. So you have plenty of chance to browse about and old discussions and what have you. There is a disassociated computer. That is a computer that's not built into the dash, that literally, physically levitates about the keyboards and things of this nature and punches in the whooshes, or the neurological whooshes of time. For instance, suppose I'm in the midst of a transition and I change my mind. Instead of taking the main computer offline, I'll tell the robot, hey man, let's check that out. And he will kick in and roll out and check that out and things of this nature without destroying the memory program of where we're going. You see what I'm talking about? Now, if you come within the stratosphere of a planet and perchance you wish to sightsee a bit, you can do it manually with a joystick or what have you. Or you can tie it in telepathically. Most aliens consider this a sissified way to drive, because if they're close enough to want to do some maneuvers, they'll do it manually, except when they're on long runs and things of this nature or whatever. However, should something befall you, heaven forbid, like a foreign organism, a germ that gets through your protection devices, your, you see what I mean, on a given planet, and you find yourself deteriorating, then you may want to, if you're incapacitated, you may want to neurologically or telepathically give instructions to the robot pilot and things of this nature or what have you. Now, by generating this much electromagnetic flux, we know opposites attract, like repels. Say, for instance, I'm on a planet, and instead of wishing to go through the down factor of coordinating the neurotronic computer and things of this nature, you understand, I'll merely press one button, and the pilot computer will read this as get like the planet, get like it, it'll push you away from it, so to speak. This will shoot me up near the stratosphere within seconds, thus evading any type of danger that may be coming upon me and what have you. Then we will kick back into the neurotronics, breach the stratosphere, and jump like bats out a hill off into some hyperspace window, tunnel. You see what I mean? And what have you. We will discuss this further. Now, as I said earlier, when the X-6 comes into the stratosphere of any given planet, say the Earth, for instance, you will note that where ships have been known to have landed, the grass beneath the ship would wither, turn brown. Many of the trees, the limbs, at least the limbs and leaves facing the ship that surrounds the ship, would also suffer the same fate. This is for a reason, as I've told you, the VRian technology is not perfect. Now, while the fusion core is sitting there pumping about 7 gigawatts, now we can go lower. For instance, if we were on the mothership where there is no perceived danger of any sort, she will go as low as 2 gigawatts while she's cooking, other than extinguish the fusion core. But we want to keep about 7 as a matter of course, and so that even if hit with existing beta wave particle beams that is owned by mankind and what have you, unless it is a direct sustained hit from several different vectors at a given time or something of this nature, it probably would not penetrate the shield if we are pumping up to 7 gigawatts of electromagnetic flux. Now, the fusion cores have to eat. When we are out in deep space, of course, it eats whatever it can. Hydrogen clouds, carbon clouds, ultraviolets, X-rays, gamma rays, Z-rays, microwaves, etc., etc., neutrinos, things like this. When it is on Earth, we know that hydrogen, water is composed of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Okay, so this is moisture. Now, on Earth, when plants are getting nutrients from the sun, that is transforming light through a process of photosynthesis, into chlorophyll and what have you, well, then what we have is encapsulated light. Now, if it falls within the realm of this electromagnetic bubble that is generated around the ship to protect it, then it will eat essentially the hydrogen molecules that's in those plants and things of this nature, and will continue to do so as it spreads outward in order, maybe for the leaves and the trees and things of this nature. Now, this is an imperfection that has not yet been overcome, other than shutting down the engine, which is not a good idea to do if you've probably been spotted on radar or something of this nature. You want to be able to return to the ship and get away at a moment's notice. So you must continue to pump. The fusion core must continue, you see what I mean, to seethe or to idle or to pump.